Okay, clipping mask. Let's start Procreate. I'm going to use Clag 3, but you can use any picture. Okay, the idea behind the clipping mask is anything that has a color on it, obviously besides the background, which is white, will be part of the clipping mask. So let me draw some more objects on here just so you can get the concept more. And let's make this orange filled, and maybe not, and maybe a star. Okay. So to make a clipping mask, go to the layers, select what you want to make the clipping mask from, and you notice that it doesn't have the clipping mask. It says alpha lock and mask. That's not what you want. So just in case you do exactly that and you don't see clipping mask, what you want is to add another layer on top of that, and then on that top layer you'll see clipping mask. So click on clipping mask. Don't confuse clipping mask with alpha lock. I will explain the difference later. Clipping masks are much more powerful. So clipping mask. So anything that is of color below the clipping mask, which is layer 1, and you notice layer 2 is the clipping mask because it has an arrow that goes down, and I'm just going to rename it. Let's rename this to red, just because I'm going to use the color red, but you can obviously rename it to anything. Okay? So anything that I color on this top clipping mask, which happens to be called red, but I'm not going to use the color red because that might confuse you. I'm going to use a different color like yellow. So when I draw on it, all the previous parts of the mask, of the layer below, is affected by what I draw on here. I'm going to use another color. Might as well use red. Okay. Remember, I'm on the top layer. Okay. So I'm going to use the red, and you notice that nothing on the white is showing. Okay. I'm going to rename this to original so we know. Original art. Okay. So if we turn off the clipping mask right here, you see that our original artwork is not affected. That is a great non-destructive way of drawing. Now, what's even more powerful now is that you could add another layer on the top of the red layer and also say, I want this layer to also be a clipping mask. And I'm going to select a different color just so you can see the difference. Let's say like a purple. Okay. And now I'm drawing on the purple clipping mask. And indeed, you see that I'm only drawing on the colors from the original artwork. I can add another clipping mask and state again, clipping mask. And let's use another color, yellow. We used yellow before, but you get the idea now. Okay? This is powerful because you are not destroying your original artwork. I can turn off the layer 3 and you can see some variations of what we have drawn. Very neat way of drawing. That's clipping mask. Now, as I stated before, let's hide all of these. You also have the ability to go alpha lock. Why wouldn't you just go alpha lock as opposed to creating 3 top layers? Well, let's do that. Let's say alpha lock. Alpha lock is different from clipping mask, whereas it acts the same way where it draws only on the colors. But you notice that there's no way for me to go back and fix my drawing if I make a mistake. I'm trying to erase. I'm trying to maybe smudge this out. But I've just, in essence, ruined my drawing with alpha lock. Now let's release the alpha lock and I've just destroyed my original art. You see the difference there? Exactly. Alpha lock and clipping mask are similar, but alpha lock will only smash your layers together. You are actually drawing on the original artwork with alpha lock, whereas clipping mask allows you to create layers on top and have your artwork be non-destructive. Okay, and let's say you didn't want a clipping mask on the top. Obviously, you can just go a regular layer and draw normally on that regular layer with stuff on the top. Okay. So that's the simple demonstration of clipping mask and alpha lock. If you can use, always try to use clipping mask. Okay, let's say we want this and we want to reduce the opacity. All the layers work the same.